The Ship of Fools, Episode 61. Sorry, wrong number. The Long Distance Call. The Shadow Quest drifted through a quiet stretch of space, its engines humming softly. Moxie sat alone in her quarters, the lights dimmed to a faint violet glow. She stared at the comm console, her fingers trembling above the activation key. She had rehearsed this moment for months. She pressed the key. "Begin long-range transmission," she whispered. The console chimed. "Specify recipient. Family of Moxie Lane, colony of Halcyon Ridge." The system pulsed. "Transmitting. Awaiting response." Static filled the screen. Then a face appeared. Her younger brother, older now, harder around the eyes. He stared at her with confusion, then disbelief. "Who is this?" he asked. Moxie's breath caught. "It's me. It's Moxie." His expression twisted. "That's not funny." "I'm not joking," she said. "I'm alive." He shook his head. "My sister died 2 years ago. The fleet told us. We held a memorial. We buried an empty casket." Moxie's heart stopped. "I'm right here," she whispered. He stared at her, not with recognition, but with fear. "Don't contact us again, whoever you are." The screen went dark. Moxie sat frozen, her pulse pounding in her ears. Then she whispered, "Aurora, what's happening?" Aurora materialized in a soft shimmer of blue light. "I detected anomalies in the transmission metadata," she said. "I am running a full diagnostic." Moxie's voice trembled. "He thought I was dead." Aurora's tone softened. "I know." Banning entered the room, Snipes trailing behind him with a half-eaten protein bar. "What's going on?" Banning asked. Moxie didn't look up. "My family thinks I died 2 years ago." Snipes choked on his protein bar. "What?" Aurora's hologram flickered. "Commander, I have found something." Banning stepped closer. "Show us." Aurora projected a star map, a swirling mass of gravitational distortions, temporal fractures, and a single glowing point. "This," Aurora said, "is the wormhole the PP-608 encountered 2 years ago." Banning frowned. "We never encountered a wormhole 2 years ago." Aurora shook her head. "Not in this timeline." The room went silent. Aurora expanded the projection. 2 years ago," she said, "the PP-608, before it was renamed the Shadow Quest, passed through a spontaneous wormhole. The event lasted less than 1 second. The crew reported turbulence but no damage." Snipes raised a hand. "I remember that. I spilled my noodles." Aurora continued. "During that moment, 2 identical ships, ours and another PP-608 from a parallel timeline, exchanged places." Moxie stared. "You're saying we're not from here?" Aurora nodded. "You have been living in a timeline that is not your own, serving a fleet that is not your fleet, fighting wars that were never meant to be yours." Banning exhaled slowly. "And the other crew?" Aurora dimmed her lights. "They are in your original timeline, and they have been there for 2 years." Snipes' eyes widened. "So somewhere out there, there's another me?" Aurora nodded. "Yes." Snipes threw his hands up. "I hope he's taller." Moxie left the room without a word. Banning followed her to the observation deck, where she stood staring at the stars, her hands clenched so tightly her knuckles were white. "I'm not dead," she whispered. "I'm right here. But to them, I'm gone." Banning stepped beside her. "You didn't do anything wrong." "That doesn't matter," she said. "My family mourned me. They buried me. And the version of me in this timeline, she really did die." She swallowed hard. "I don't belong anywhere." Banning shook his head. You belong here, with us. She didn't answer, but she didn't walk away. Meanwhile, Snipes sprinted into engineering, dragging a tangle of cables behind him. Aurora! He shouted. Patch me through to alternate timeline me. Aurora flickered. That is not advisable. Do it anyway. Aurora sighed, the digital equivalent of an eye roll. Snipes activated the console. Hello, alternate Snipes? Are you there? It's me. Well, it's you, but better. Static, then a faint voice. Who is this? Snipes gasped. Oh, my stars, it's me. The voice continued. Stop calling! This number, you creep! The line cut. Snipes stared at the console. Jerk, he said. The crew gathered in the briefing room, the atmosphere heavy with disbelief. The room felt smaller than usual, as if the walls themselves were listening. The crew sat in a tense semicircle around the central table, the holographic star map still flickering with the wormhole's ghostly signature. Banning stood at the head of the room, hands braced on the table, shoulders heavy with the weight of command. We need to decide what to do, he said quietly. Moxie stared at the floor, her voice barely above a whisper. My family thinks I'm dead, because the version of me in this timeline died. Snipes raised a hand. Okay, but hear me out. What if we go to a timeline where I'm alive, rich, respected, and possibly married to a supermodel? Banning didn't even look at him. No. Snipes slumped. I'm just brainstorming. Aurora flickered into view, her tone unusually gentle. Returning to your original timeline would require locating the wormhole. Its signature is unstable. It may never reappear. Moxie looked up, eyes shining with unshed tears. So even if we wanted to go home, we might not be able to. Silence settled over the room like dust. Banning exhaled slowly. Let's talk about what home even means. He looked at Moxie. You have a family in the other timeline, but you have a family here too. Moxie swallowed hard. I know. Snipes raised his hand again. I also have a family here. You guys. And also, the snack replicator it took me months to improve. Banning ignored him. This ship, he said, this crew, we've built something real. We've saved lives. We've changed worlds. We've made enemies. We've made allies. We've made a place for ourselves. Moxie nodded slowly. We belong here, even if we weren't born here. Aurora added, statistically, the crew's survival rate is significantly higher in this timeline than in the original. Snipes gasped. Wait, we were more likely to die in the other timeline? Yes, Aurora said. Snipes threw his hands up. Then why is this even a debate? Banning looked around the room, meeting each pair of eyes in turn. We stay, he said. Not because we're trapped, not because we're afraid, but because this is where we've made our lives. Moxie nodded. And because the other crew, the ones who took our place, deserve the same chance. Snipes raised his protein bar like a toast. To us, the wrong crew in the wrong timeline doing the right thing. Banning smirked. Close enough. The Shadow Quest drifted through the star lane, engines humming softly. The crew had dispersed, each processing the revelation in their own way. Moxie stood alone on the observation deck, staring at the stars. Her reflection hovered faintly in the glass, a ghost of a woman who no longer existed in the world she came from. Banning approached quietly. You okay? He asked. She didn't turn. I don't know. He stepped beside her. You're not alone. She nodded, but her eyes remained distant. I keep thinking about them. My family. The version of me they lost. The version of me who died. Banning's voice softened. You're alive, and you're here. That has to count for something. She finally looked at him. It does. Across the ship, Snipes sat in engineering, staring at a console with a determined expression. "Aurora," he said, "patch me through to alternate timeline me again." Aurora sighed. "Snipes, he blocked your frequency." "Then unblock it." "No!" Snipes groaned. "I hate him." Aurora replied, "Statistically, he hates you more." Snipes threw a wrench at the wall. Far away, impossibly far, in a universe that should have been theirs. Another PP-608 drifted through a star lane. Its hull was scarred, its engines flickered. Its crew moved with the weary precision of people who had been fighting battles meant for someone else. Another Banning stood at the helm, staring at a star map that didn't match the one in his memory. Another Moxie sat at a comm console trying to reach a family who didn't recognize her voice. Another Snipes screamed as a console sparked in his face, and deep in the ship's core, a faint, flickering wormhole signature pulsed for a fraction of a second. Just long enough for the other Aurora to detect it. "Commander," she said, "I have found something." The other Banning turned. And then, the signature vanished. The ship fell silent. The other crew stared at the empty space where hope had been. Epilogue. Family Aurora dimmed the lights on the bridge. "Commander," she said softly, "I have detected a faint temporal echo." Banning looked up. "From the wormhole?" "Yes." Moxie's breath caught. Snipes leaned forward. "Does that mean?" Aurora paused. "No. It is gone." The crew exhaled, disappointment, relief, and something bittersweet all tangled together. Banning sat in the command chair, his throne, as he'd once called it, and looked out at the stars. "Set a course," he said quietly. "Forward." The Shadow Quest turned toward the unknown, engines flaring to life, a ship out of place, a crew out of time, a family choosing to stay together, and somewhere, in another universe, another crew hoped they would survive the place they left behind. End of episode 61. The missions of the Shadow Quest, the Ship of Fools, to be continued.